Today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian, and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Hungary here in Central Europe. I hope everybody is having a good and healthy start to their weekend. Hi, Michael Fan. Hi, Boomy. I saw lots of members already joining into this class. Welcome. We will be continuing with speaking part 3, finishing up our interview with that band 9. Hi, Rangana. Hi, Rajat. Flower Sun, Alex, Joseph, Priyanka. Nice to see many of our regular students. Welcome. While we wait for a few more of your peers, this lesson is brought to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS success. Check us out there for general IELTS. Check us out at GIELTS help.com. And again, I'm going to show you the free speaking option on the websites. I keep reminding you of this, and I will continue to do so because it's one of the best ways to improve your speaking for free. So this is the academic website here at aehelp.com. General IELTS looks the same with the green background. And then when you get the premium package, click the red button, or get the free package, click the green button. Then you'll have a My Student account that you can log into at the top there. And then when you're in your My Student account on our website, you have this Student Partner Speaking. And you can click on that, accept the agreement that you'll speak nicely with other students. And then there will be a page where you will see other students looking for IELTS speaking partners. Right now, we have Zahab, Elena, and Mohammed in here practicing their speaking. And you can send a text and say, hey, do you want to speak, practice some IELTS? And then you can audio and video chat, just like with Skype. Hi, Rashika. So please use that. You also have some instructions there, and then you also have some speaking questions to choose from. There's 15 different speaking scripts. Students, it's absolutely free, okay? 100% free, no ads, nothing, just use it. Improve your English speaking, okay? Work with other students. All right. Mohammed Azad says, I use it every day. And you know what, Mohammed? Good on you. I bet your speaking is improving rapidly because you're using it every day. And the nice thing too, students, is you'll meet with others from many different countries with different accents. So your listening skills will really improve by hearing other students with other English accents, and that will sharpen your listening skills. So that's a really good reason to use that. Did everybody catch that? Okay, just let me know if you understand. Yeah, Shiva, it's 100% free. Okay, if you sign up for the free version of the course, you can use it there, and it's 100% free. Did everybody catch that? So if you're practicing your speaking with somebody from Turkey, the next day somebody from India, the next day somebody from Kazakhstan, the next day somebody from Germany, your ears will get better at catching English words, okay? So it's much more effective than always practicing speaking with somebody that has the same accent as you. Why is that important? Well, because English is an international language, and because on the IELTS listening, the accents do tend to vary a little bit, okay? Yeah, Mohammed Azat, a student who uses this every day, is like, yeah, you're listening to different languages or different accents every time, which is great. Okay, so students, if you have questions, just send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com, and I will happily answer any of your inquiries. You can get our exam books if you just want some practice exams from Amazon. A helps Academic IELTS, G helps General IELTS. Search for those titles. Those are the exams that we use in these live classes too, so they're good to have to follow with us. Right now, students, speaking part 3, And then later today, I will post the schedule for live classes for next week. They will be Wednesday to Saturday from 13:30 and 15 o'clock Central European Time. So if you're on our channel, Academic English Help, click the community tab or link, and then you'll see all of the speaking scripts, task 2, task 1, and you'll see the schedules as well. Okay. All right, so students, let's get into a bit of talking. This is continuing from the class that I finished with our members and our viewers 30 minutes ago, which was a speaking part 2 cue card that asked you to talk about an important journey that had been delayed. And we talked about our journey to Gujarat for our graduation ceremony, which had been delayed due to the COVID pandemic. And now the examiner says, okay, your time is up. I'll take back the card with the questions, the note paper, and now we will continue with part 3. Hi, Jia Bao Hyun. There you are. All right. So the examiner will say, let's talk about managing challenging situations. Okay. First question, what is important to keep in mind when unexpected events affect planning? So what is important to keep in mind when unexpected events affect planning? Okay, give me a nice sentence for that one. Okay, Roshni says, imperative planning should bear in mind to take notes and receipts to get a refund if any hazardous situation occurs, as well as to stay in touch with friends and collect information. Okay, Roshni, you have a bit of good information there. Watch your grammar. So it's important to keep a record and to keep receipts so that if an unexpected event happens, then we don't lose money. Yeah, Roshni, that's good because we talked about that for the part 2 cue card, right? Very clever. All right. Bekjan says the first action is to think of the financial expenditure of the planning, like the train tickets, as I'd mentioned, so that people do not lose money. Very good, Bekjan. Nice. Excellent. Good thinking. Good thinking. Zahab Metra says, well, every person has experienced some unfortunate incident in their life. The best way is to just accept this fact for being the way it is, avoid stress, and don't fear about the future. Good, Zahab. I made a few corrections to make it more natural. When I repeat or read what you say, I'm correcting in real time. So please repeat me and pay attention to the time. It's 8 minutes, 30 seconds into the class, Zahab, right now. So at around 8 minutes, you can check the response that you gave and my correction, and then you can compare that. Okay, so students, this is speaking, so make sure to speak and repeat. It is really important to practice this. Okay, Lokesh, I'm sure you'll get better than 5.5, Ben, but you need to use English, especially when you're in English live streaming class. Okay. All right. Saswati says, in an unexpected situation, it's important to keep calm and patient. It is most essential and beneficial attitude when people face these unexpected situations in life. In addition, people should try to make wise strategies to overcome the situation. Saswati, good. Students, don't repeat yourself, okay? So if you said in unexpected situations, people should keep calm, then don't repeat yourself and say that the best attitude is to keep calm in unexpected situations. Repeating yourself, it's it weakens communication, so don't repeat yourselves, okay? When there are unexpected occurrences, it's key to remember to stay calm and decide on the best course of action to mitigate loss. A good idea in case of traveling is to keep receipts. So that people can potentially get their money back, as I did with the train tickets. Okay, all right, so reflecting on your part 2 is really important. That's why it's so important to do a good job in part 2 so that you can make these connections. Just repeat after me. What is important to keep in mind when unexpected events affect planning? When there are unexpected occurrences, it's key to remember to stay calm and decide on the best course of action to mitigate loss. A good idea in case of traveling is to keep receipts so that people can potentially get their money back, as I did with the train tickets. Okay, so answer, explain, example, connection. Okay, and reflect the grammar of the question. When unexpected events affect planning, this is a real condition. So I'm using the real condition. When there are unexpected occurrences, I basically take this part of the question, I paraphrase a bit of it, the planning and events. I paraphrase events for occurrences. And then I give an answer. So to decide on the best course of action to mitigate loss, the reason for my answer. Mitigate loss means to minimize or to control loss. Okay. All right. So then, can you elaborate on this? So you'll often get this follow-up question in part 3. Can you elaborate on this? It means, can you tell me more about this? So you should always be able to expand and tell the examiner more information. Okay. So Beckjohn says, yes, sure. When people buy a ticket, they have different options like transferring it or canceling it, which can be done online. This feature really helps during unexpected situations. That works, Beckjohn. Or oftentimes you can buy insurance, like for expensive plane tickets, right? These days, especially with the COVID, I guess that the plane companies will make a lot of money from the insurance policies. Hopefully that covers this kind of situation, right? I guess a lot of people will be buying insurance for their plane tickets over the next few months. So think about real situations and use those in your answers. Okay. Amanjot Kaur says, yes, of course I can. If there is death or a family member any family member unexpectedly, then don't panic. Take a long, deep breath and try to take the best course of action. Yeah, Amanjot, I mean, that's probably one of the most difficult unexpected situations, but even in that case, it doesn't help to panic. I agree. Peya says, of course, 2 years back when I failed to join my cousin's wedding in Dhaka, I called one of my friends, Disha, to borrow her car, and I reached the venue in time. Okay, Peya, a little bit confusing there. Careful with the borrow and lend All right. Okay, Zahab says, moreover, having, I think you said something before then, Zahab. Let's see, there it is. Oh, now it's gone, Zahab. You took it away. Abhishek says, yes, of course. As I mentioned in the earlier part 2, I bought 5 tickets for my train ride to visit Gujarat for my undergraduate convocation. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic delay, this was canceled. So I kept the receipts of the tickets, and I was able to get either refund or reschedule the trip for a later date. Very good. All right. Sure. So can you elaborate on this? Yes, of course. When people panic, they tend to either focus on the negatives or lose control completely. However, when they stay calm, people usually come up with a variety of options from which they can choose the best strategy. In my case, I had remembered that I read in the fine print when buying the train tickets that I can either get a refund or reschedule for a later date. Okay, repeat after me. So again, let's go from the primary question, the first question. Repetition, it's really important, students. Let's do this nice and smooth and fast, okay? Here we go. What is important to keep in mind when unexpected events affect planning? When there are unexpected occurrences, it's key to remember to stay calm and decide on the best course of action to mitigate loss. A good idea in case of traveling is to keep receipts so that people can potentially get their money back, as I did with train tickets. Can you elaborate? Yes, of course. When people panic, they tend to either focus on the negatives or lose control completely. However, when they stay calm, people usually come up with a variety of options from which they can choose the best strategy. In my case, I had remembered that I read in the fine print when buying the train tickets that I can either get a refund or reschedule for a later date. Okay, so that would be staying calm. Now, talking about staying calm, students, stay calm in your IELTS exam. The big reason is the same as what we mentioned here. You can just think better, make better choices, respond faster. Okay, so this goes for the IELTS exam also. All right, next question. I saw a couple more great answers. Rajveer Singh, that's a good answer as well. We're going to move along here. So the next question is, what are some common situations around the world that can suddenly influence people's planning? Okay, so what are some common situations around the world that can suddenly influence people's planning? Give me a nice full sentence answer for this question. Okay. So Seni Surani says the death of a relative, sudden disaster, are events that can influence people's planning in many places around the world. The most difficult is the continuous effects of a natural disaster like an earthquake. Okay, right, Seni? Or a little bit more. Okay, a little bit more. Murasa, Baraki says, that's an interesting question. The fundamental situations across the globe that affect individuals' planning are natural disasters like floods, earthquakes, pandemics like COVID-19, and accidents, as I mentioned in my part 2. Yeah, Murasa, be careful. COVID-19 is not a natural disaster. It's a pandemic. It wouldn't be considered a natural disaster, so you have to say that, okay? A disease, a pandemic, or an epidemic like COVID-19. All right. In your writing, too, students, make sure that you have the right modifications and a list of answers. All right. Otherwise, nice details, Marasa, that you said flood or an earthquake. Okay. Amanjat says, well, there are a lot of different situations that affect one's planning, like the death of family members, vehicle problems, floods, and even unexpected guests. Okay, Amanjat, yeah, you're right. Make sure to reflect the question too, students. So common situations around the world that can suddenly. So make sure to put that into your answer. Common situations around the world. Okay. Mustafa Oskarakaya says, I would absolutely say that diseases which currently we are struggling with globally are common. Unfortunately, schools, offices, cafes are closed. Okay, that's one, Mustafa. When you have the plural situations, Mustafa, you want to give at least 2, 3, okay? So a disease, an epidemic like COVID, and, okay, car troubles, natural disasters. So give at least 2 or 3, okay? And don't go off topic. Okay. Jawan says, most common situations around the world that can suddenly influence people's plans are somebody's sudden death or an illness. Very good, Jawan. Okay, so you're reflecting the question. Okay. So here is my answer with a bit of paraphrasing. Frequent occurrences says that take place globally. So a nice way to paraphrase around the world is globally. Okay. Double R, occurrences. Okay, so frequent occurrences that take place globally, which can have an immediate impact on individuals' schedule. Notice this interesting use of individual. Even though individual means one person, English is kind of crazy. You can put an S on it, and then you can put the apostrophe after the S, which means many individuals. So individuals' schedules are natural disasters like floods, earthquakes, and hurricanes, as well as personal difficulties like car troubles or the unfortunate death of a loved one. All right. So again, repeat after me. What are some common situations around the world that can suddenly influence people's planning? Now notice how people's, it's the apostrophe is between the E and the S because people is plural, right? So here we go. Frequent occurrences that take place globally, which can have an immediate impact on individual schedules, or natural disasters like floods, earthquakes, and hurricanes, as well as personal difficulties like car trouble or the unfortunate death of a loved one. All right. Now, the follow-up question. Which of these is the most difficult to deal with and why? Okay, that's the follow-up here. Again, you don't have to give the right answer, just give a good answer. So all of these can be difficult. Okay, so choose one and explain it. Okay, so Beckjohn says, in my eyes, of course, quarantine is the most challenging one since it not only cancels all flights and trains, but also all important events. Okay. Roshni Kunte says, well, all are imperative, but if I have to say the natural disasters are the most crazy and devastating, which can change plans. A person may have shelter or may have to seek shelter to survive, like during a cyclone or an earthquake. Yeah, Roshni, I agree. Natural disasters, I think, would be a good choice here. Okay. All right, Aman Jat says, well, according to me, death of a family member is very difficult to deal with because there are so many attachments to our family members. So it's an extremely difficult emotional situation, which can be unbearable. Okay, Aman Jat, a couple of corrections there. Okay. Alex Joseph says, I would venture to say that a tsunami is one of the most difficult disasters as they are unpredictable and difficult to deal with because it completely destroys the cityscape and negatively impacts the population, causing injury and death. Right. Okay. Alfred Eckera says, the unfortunate death of a loved one is the most difficult to deal with because of the void that is left in a person's soul, Alfred. Okay. Nice use of the word void, V-O-I-D. The void that is left is irreparable. Yeah, is unfillable. Okay, it cannot be filled. A void is like a giant hollow hole that has no end. Boomy says the most arduous situation, nice use of the word arduous, Boomy. The most arduous situation, in my opinion, is a natural disaster, since it does not only affect the individual's life, but also the society as well, and has long-term consequences. Yeah, sure. Turk, nice to see you in class. Turk Berry says, usually it is difficult to justify how anyone might be able to go through these difficult times. However, the death of a loved one is truly unbearable and irreparable, unlike the other examples. Yeah, okay, good. Some good answers there. All right. Now, in the IELTS students, some questions might emotionally affect people. Try to keep your emotions out of the exam. It doesn't mean be like a robot, but also don't be nostalgic. Okay, so if most of us by the time we're adults have lost a loved one in our lives. Some of us have experienced natural disasters. Try not to get too emotional. Okay. So you can definitely buy yourself a bit of time with some leading expressions like, wow, that's a tough question to answer. But if I had to say, I would claim that the most arduous of these is a natural disaster, because it not only, nice use of that correlative conjunction, not only affects the individual, but also the surrounding society. So there can be a lack of physical and emotional support in such situations, such as after an earthquake, a person may feel scared and may be injured, and there is simply no one to come to the rescue. In order for plans to get back on track, it may take weeks, if not months. Okay, repeat after me. Here's my answer. Again, remember to focus on the question and not go off track. So which of these is the most difficult to deal with and why? And we're still talking about challenges in planning and scheduling as well. So here's the answer. Repeat after me. Wow, that's a tough question to answer, but if I had to say, I would claim that the most arduous of these is a natural disaster because it not only affects the individual, but also the surrounding society. So there can be a lack of physical and emotional support in such situations, such as after an earthquake, a person may feel scared and may be injured, and there is simply no one to come to the rescue. In order for plans to get back on track, it may take weeks, if not months, after such a catastrophic event. Okay. Next question. How has technology helped in managing the influence of unforeseeable effects on scheduling? So, of course, don't be surprised, students, that the questions do tend to get more and more difficult as the examiner moves through part 3. There will be more and more challenging vocabulary or unfamiliar vocabulary. If at this point you can't catch the question, don't freak out. It's okay. Ask for a repeat. It's okay to ask to repeat once or twice in part 3. If you didn't catch the question, it's definitely better than talking nonsense and going off topic. So, how has technology helped in managing the influence of unforeseeable effects on scheduling? Okay, so here you might say, well, sorry, can you repeat that question? I didn't quite catch that. Okay, sure. How has technology helped in managing the influence of unforeseeable effects on scheduling? Okay. Kabir, if you'd like to book one-on-one speaking sessions with me, you can do that in your My Student account through gieltshelp.com or aehelp.com. Okay. All right. Give me a nice answer for this one. Amanjot says, well, technology is a boon for human beings. It helps in many contexts, like checking weather conditions, alerting us of the possibility of a natural disaster, and it helps us to reach others in emergency situations, using the mobile phone to call the fire department or the police. Right, Amanjot? So a little bit more. You're definitely on the right track. You're using boon nicely there as a device which assists people. Just a little bit more detail. Okay. All right. Bekjan says, I guess the advancement in technology has helped a lot in controlling the ramifications of unanticipated impacts on plans, since people can reschedule much faster than in the past. Nowadays, there are websites that help us to adjust schedules, as where in the past people had to call or send mail, right? Which was a lot slower. Yeah, and I saw that you finished the idea as well, Bekchan, which is good. Ali Ishmaili says, well, it's a tough question. However, if I had to say, as technology develops, numerous applications and gadgets are invented which can inform us about the weather, future emergencies, as well as inform others about our changing circumstances. Yeah, Kaylee, good. Turk says, recently it came to my attention that many seismographs are being installed and seismographs are being installed, and the current lockdown has proven to check natural earthquake movements. Turk, I think you're trying to express something interesting that's happening in seismology around the world, but be careful not to get lost. Make sure you stay clear. Okay. Rajveer Singh says, technology has come in handy to minimize the impact of unforeseeable occurrences on planning, as people use mobile applications and websites not only to refund their travel tickets, but also to reschedule their journey faster using these apps and to inform others of the changes of plans. Yeah, absolutely, Rajveer. Very nice question. Very high level. It would be a solid band 8.59 as long as you say it clearly and quickly. Lambda says, actually, I think that with choices and information technology can provide us, we always have an alternative solution. Very good, Lambda. I'm going to borrow from you. I think that modern tech has greatly aided people in navigating unexpected impacts on plans by providing people with more choices and connections than ever before. I mean, now people can go online to cancel or reschedule their travels and engagements immediately, as well as reach out to people and inform them of the situation. Okay, all right. So, nice answers, students. I'm just borrowing from what you've said. Repeat after me. I'm putting it together. How has technology helped in managing the influence of unforeseeable effects on scheduling? I think that modern tech has greatly aided people in navigating unexpected impacts on plans by providing people with more choices and connections than ever before. I mean, now people can go online to cancel or reschedule their travels and engagements immediately, as well as reach out to people and inform them of the situation. Okay, I'm using the question. Importantly, I'm reflecting the present perfect. So the question asks, how has technology? Okay, and I'm saying tech has greatly aided, helped people. All right, so I'm reflecting that right away. And then comes the follow-up question. Now, if you gave examples, the examiner might not ask you for examples, but if you haven't, definitely they may. So can you give some examples? And now, if you did give some examples and the examiner asks you anyway, can you give some examples? Then give some more examples. Okay, that's the trick. So give some more examples. All right, so Zahab says, well, I think there are a lot of examples, like missing a flight is one of them. Technology can help with this. For example, after 7 hours of getting a mail and not miss it. Okay, Zahab, I'm not exactly clear. You might want to rephrase that. I read it. It's a little bit confusing. So Had Patel is asking, can I say there are many? No, because technology is a non-count noun, technically speaking, Het. So you have to say there is much technology in the world, or there's a lot, but you can't say there are many technology in the world. Okay? It's a non-count noun, technology. Okay? All right. Beckjohn says, yeah, sure. A manager who has a meeting in about 2 or 3 days can notify members of the board of the changed plans and even conduct the meeting through Skype or Zoom. These opportunities were just simply not available in the past. Beautiful example. Beckjohn, just take something from the real world today where a lot of us are rescheduling and hosting our meetings or even classes like this one through the internet, so we don't have to make physical contact. And all of this is being powered by modern technology, right? Okay, good job. Fatih Salih says, yeah, sure. As I mentioned before, people can utilize social media and some applications like WhatsApp, Viber, and Skype to reach their families or friends to be informed about the situation. Very good. Okay, great job. Nicely done. So certainly. In addition to the examples that I gave regarding my train ticket, people can also use communication apps like Skype and WhatsApp, which enable audio and video conferencing to reach out to others, as in the case of a CEO who informs their board about a rescheduled meeting, which is to be held using Zoom. This would not have been possible a few decades ago. All right. So there's my answer. Please repeat after me. Here we go. Can you give some examples? Certainly, in addition to the examples that I gave regarding my train ticket, people can also use communication apps like Skype and WhatsApp, which enable audio and video conferencing to reach out to others, as in the case of a CEO who informs their board about a rescheduled meeting, which is to be held using Zoom. This would not have been possible a few decades ago. All right. Had Patel, thank you for that compliment and feedback. I appreciate that. Okay, cool. So I'm going to stop there for today. Here are a few more questions for you to practice on your own. Let's talk about personal management skills. What life skills can help people stay in control of unplanned situations? Where can people learn these? Some people believe that keeping emotions under control is essential when dealing with new and challenging situations. Do you agree with this? Why or why not? Okay. Try these questions on your own. Record it on your phone. Record your answers. Send them to me by email in an MP3 attachment, adrian@aehelp.com, and I'll give you a band score estimate for your speaking, roughly what you can get. Our band score estimates are pretty accurate. Students usually tell us that we're either exactly right or just half a band away. So try those questions. You can see those questions again if you want later when you come back to the channel and look for this video. And to get all of our videos, to get HD video lessons with me, other teachers, also practice exams, again, to use that free student partner speaking function, please visit us at aehelp.com for academic IELTS and gieltshelp.com for general IELTS. Great work, Bekjun. You are most welcome. Boomi, you're welcome. Amanjat, copy that. Fantastic. Nawal, you're super, super welcome. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I will be back on Wednesday at the same time. Stay safe, stay strong, stay confident. Much love from Budapest. Bye for now.